Welcome to I Am LIVin LE'GaCee, where Black stories breathe and legacies live. I'm your host, Dr. G, and this is our soft, sacred space, a place where everyday voices hold extraordinary truth. Here, we gather the lived wisdom of our people, life lessons, joys, grief, resilience, and love, passed down through generations. In a world that has worked hard to erase our histories, this is our resistance. We remember, we speak, we carry forward. These stories are not just memories. They are maps. They are mirrors. They are medicine. So settle in, take a breath. You belong here. Welcome back to I Am LIVin LE'GaCee. Today, I want to share a few reflections about what it really means to build community. We're living in extraordinary times that remind us just how vital connection, care, and collective strength truly are. There's an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. I don't know who first spoke those words, but I know they carry the heartbeat of truth. Because we are living in times that test our togetherness. Some of us are grieving, some are rebuilding, some are trying to make sense of a world that keeps shifting beneath our feet. And yet, even now, the call to community is greater than we can imagine. It's calling us to gather and to listen, to build, to support, to uplift, and honestly, to shift how and what true community looks like. Community isn't just who lives near us, it's who sees us, who listens when we speak truth, who reminds us that we are not meant to carry life alone, and who shows up when our humanity is on the line. When we talk about community, we often picture neighborhoods, churches, or group chats. But true community is deeper. It's the invisible thread that ties hearts together. It's where honesty lives, where integrity meets compassion, where love shows up not only in words, but in action, meals shared, prayers whispered, presence offered. Community shapes who we are. It teaches empathy, patience, and reciprocity. It reminds us that my well-being and yours are connected. Without it, isolation grows, but with it, the soul has a place to rest. Today, we are more connected than ever, scrolling through feeds, liking posts, commenting on pictures. Yet research shows that loneliness is at an all-time high. Digital connection can't replace human presence. A heart emoji can't hold your hand. A story view isn't the same as being truly seen. Social media can build bridges, yes, but it can also create illusions of closeness that leave us emptier than before. So as we post, share, and scroll, let's also remember to reach. Reach beyond the screen. Pick up the phone. Write a note. Show up. Because real community is not measured in followers. It's measured in fellowship. I learned about community as a child, before I ever had words to define it. I saw it in my family and in the people who surrounded us. Neighbors who showed up with food when someone was sick. Friends who helped one another without being asked. Families who leaned in when times were hard. I watched how people connected through care, how they held one another up with quiet strength, laughter, and love. Those early years stayed with me. They taught me that community is something you build in everyday moments, with kindness, with presence, with follow through. And now I have the honor of continuing that legacy, building upon what I witnessed growing up through the work I do today, supporting others in building their own communities, understanding what real needs look like, and honestly, showing up even when it's hard. Because that's what I learned. Love shows up. One of the greatest lessons life continues to teach me is this: we can't wait for the storm to come before we begin to gather. The best time to build community is in the season of ease, when the skies are clear and our hearts are steady. That's when we plant seeds of trust, when we listen deeply to one another, and when we create rhythms of connection that will sustain us later. Because when hard times come, and they will, it's the community you nurtured in calm that will hold you in the storm. Community isn't a safety net you weave in panic. It's the garden you tend to with care now, so that when the winds rise, there's something strong enough to anchor you. And community is reciprocal. It breathes in and out. It's the giving and the receiving. Sometimes you're the one pouring into others. Sometimes you're the one who needs to be poured into. Both are sacred and both are love. We're living in historically challenging times, politically, spiritually, and emotionally. The noise of division can drown out the quiet work of connection. Many of us are trying to rebuild in the midst of loss, the loss of people, of trust, and of peace. But maybe this moment is also an invitation to reimagine how we show up for one another. Maybe community now looks smaller but deeper, less performance, more presence, fewer masks, and more meaning. We can't heal in isolation, and we can't keep pretending we don't need each other. Long before hashtags and headlines, community was already written into our DNA. Across the African continent, community was never just a gathering of people, it was a way of being. In many cultures, a person's identity is rooted in the collective. In a prior episode, I shared the phrase, I am because we are. The Zulu word ubuntu reminds us of that very thing. It's an understanding that our humanity is bound together, that your joy, your healing, your becoming, they're tied to mine. In villages across the continent, you could see this wisdom in motion. Families raising one another's children, neighbors sharing harvests, elders teaching not just with words, but with their lives. Community wasn't built for convenience. It was a sacred covenant of care, a promise that we will never let each other fall through the cracks. And that wisdom still lives in us. Each time we check on a friend, lend a hand, or speak truth with love, we are living that same legacy, an unbroken thread of connection that stretches across oceans and generations. So where do we begin? Number one, start where you are. Look around. Who's already near you? Connection begins with noticing. Number two, be intentional with digital connection. Use social media to deepen, not replace relationships. Comment meaningfully. Reach out directly. Create moments of genuine exchange. Number three, lead with honesty. Vulnerability builds trust. It's okay to say, I'm not quite sure how to show up, but I'm here and I'm willing to learn. Number four, share what you have. Time, a meal, a listening ear, a word of encouragement. Generosity is the heartbeat of belonging. Number 5, be consistent. Keep showing up, even when it's inconvenient. Presence builds reliability, and reliability builds trust. Number 6, hold space for difference. We don't have to agree on everything to love one another well. Loving well doesn't mean agreeing on everything. It means holding space for one another's truths. It means letting grace sit in the middle when understanding feels hard. That's community work, choosing care over being right. That's how we love one another well, through respect, through curiosity, and through care. Celebrate joy together is number 7. Don't only gather for crisis. Celebrate the ordinary, the healing, the becoming. Joy is a sacred act of resistance. And number 8, reclaim the rhythm of reciprocity. Give when you can, receive when you need. Let love move both ways. I'd like to invite us into a sacred pause. Take a deep breath. Picture yourself standing beside still water. The surface is calm, quiet, waiting. Now, imagine dropping one small stone, a word, a smile, a kind gesture into that water. Watch the ripples move outward. They travel farther than you expected, touching places you can't even see. That's what our love does. That's what presence does. Each act of care, each phone call, each meal shared, each moment of listening sends waves of belonging through the world. You may never see the full reach of your ripples, but somewhere, someone feels them. Now think about a person who has sent ripples into your life. Maybe an elder who saw something in you, a friend who called at the right time, a stranger who showed you kindness when you needed it most. Let gratitude move through you like water, soft, steady, endless. Ask yourself, what ripples am I sending today? How do my words, my silence, my action shift the waters around me? And who might need a ripple of care from me right now? In this moment, remember, community isn't about being seen or standing in the center. It's in the quiet, everyday work of tending to your own garden and helping others nurture theirs. You can't build a thriving community if you haven't tended to your own roots or cleared the weeds that keep love from growing. It's built in quiet ripples of compassion that begin right where you are. Listen, you are the ripple, the wave, and the shore that receives them. This is how love travels, and this is how community grows. Beloved, community is legacy. Every connection we nurture becomes a bridge for those who will walk after us. The world is aching for spaces of love, of support, and honesty. And we have the power to build them. As you move through this week, ask yourself, where can I plant a seed of connection? Where can I build or rebuild what's been broken? Where can I open my hands to both give and receive? Because when we show up for one another through social media and in real life, we remember who we are. We remember that living is about connecting, and connecting is about seeing the divine thread that binds us together. Until next time, may your community be full of love, reciprocity, and grace. Begin building it today in the way you listen, the way you serve, and the way you love out loud. Because the legacy of tomorrow's village begins with the care we offer each other today.